Oh, let's see. Oh, the stream is not. Well, it looks like we're streaming from YouTube. There's some issues with Facebook, but this is Cindy with Bucket List Coach Web Show Live, and we're talking my favorite topic, guys. Top Gun. We'll be right back. Well, hello. Cindy here at Bucket List Coach Web Show Live. And I'm going to talk with Heater right now. I'm going to pop the Blairs out and also Dave BARENEK, and we will be right back. All right. Heater, let's talk story. So, Top Gun happened all because of you. It's that California magazine story. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, actually, the way I found out about that was coming out of the hangar, walking toward the tax trailer where we did one of the scenes later in the movie. And Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer, the two producers, were talking to this long hair guy who, when I got closer, I realized was Kenny Loggins, who was trying to scout, for some lyrics and some background so he could write some songs for the movie. And Kenny left, and I was with those two guys for the first time. We haven't even started shooting the movie yet. And Jerry stopped me and he goes, you're the reason we're here, right? And I go, what do you mean? And he said, Don had a toothache and we always do everything together. And so we went to the dentist and we're sitting in the dentist's office and they opened California magazine to that photo actually. And he looked at it and he looked especially at the visor and the other airplanes. He liked the reflection in the visor, he told me. And he said, this looks like Star Wars on Earth. This is our next movie. And he plopped it on Don's lap. And they said they were off to the races from there. They basically did a small treatment based on the photo and went and talked to the Secretary of the Navy and then started the movie. That shot was somewhere around 1981, 82. It appeared in California magazine in 83. That's my backseater Ducks, Don Roy, and my three wingmen. And we're all in the South China Sea heading back to the ship.
So give a little backstory on some of the things you did as a F-14 pilot. Like what did you take from the sky? That's pretty epic because it's actually National Photography Month as well.
You mean about this photo?
Yes, about this photo and some other ones that you took from the sky.
Yeah, this one's, people can't figure out how I took it because the ejection seat's in the way. And so what I did, and if I'm still on the screen, is I reached my hand back and the camera was upside down and backwards. And I used the mirror on the front cockpit to see if I was aiming anywhere close to where I wanted to. And I kind of put his helmet in the middle and just squeezed off 4 shots. And 2 of them worked. 2 of them were good.
So we have a few minutes left on your part of the show. Let's talk an epic story of you being a pilot with Top Gun.
Wow. Well, you mean as it relates to the movie?
Well, the day in the life of a pilot at F-14.
Oh yeah, well, I love dogfighting, and Top Gun's all about dogfighting. It's all air combat maneuvering and basic fighter maneuvers. So every day I was in heaven. So to have a movie
Wow.
come out and show everybody, including my own relatives and family and neighbors and friends, this is what I do. You can never explain it to them, but with the movie, you can go, yeah, that's the airplane I flew, and that's what I did. So that was really cool. And I love Top Gun Maverick because Kaczynski really paid a lot of homage to Tony Scott, who I got to be very close with.
Yes.
And so you could see a lot of the lighting and camera work and a lot of the lines in the story. Even Penny Benjamin was a throwaway line, and now she's a main character in Top Gun Maverick. So that was really great. And Tony came over to my house and he looked through all my photos, and I think it changed the way he wanted to do the film, because he told me he wanted it to be like The Hunger, which was a very dark, practically blue and white with, blue and black with black silhouettes. But it was a vampire movie with David Bowie and Catherine Deneuve, and
oh wow,
it was real dark and moody. And he told me he was going to make a movie in the bowels of the ship, and it was going to be testosterone fueled and dark and moody, and a lot of tension, a lot of masculinity. And I said, Tony, let's go upstairs. And we went upstairs to my light table and looked through hundreds of slides. Oh. And I could see him changing, because I said, see, you have blue sky, white clouds, gorgeous ocean, and beautiful airplanes. You don't want to make this dark and moody. So he said, I'll be back. And he came back 2 or 3 days later, and he picked out about 30 images that he printed, and then he put them in the ship and in the Top Gun hallway and the offices. So a lot of the still photos in the movie are mine. And then Tony had me shoot with the Aeroflex. So almost all of the overwater scenes in the movie, the missile shoot, the coming aboard, combat maneuvering over water. I was in 7 F-14s and 2 or 3 TA-4s with various people. Bozo.
Oh, yeah.
I flew with Bozo on a couple of them, and flew with Skull and a number of other people on others. And they even used one of my missile shots in Top Gun Maverick. So I made Top Gun Maverick in 2 ways. They had that group photo of all of us together from 1985, and all the actors and the 6 extras, which I was one. And so that was there. Remember when they were trying to figure out who Tom Cruise flew with and who Rooster's father was? And they said, look at Goose, and so that photo I actually gave Paramount, and they put it in the movie, and I'm in it. And so is the missile shoot. So even though I had nothing to do with Top Gun Maverick, and Fergie, now a good friend of mine, he did an awesome job with Top Gun Maverick. Really loved it.
Wow. Wow. Is there anything you would like to add before I put you in the green room?
No, I wish we had questions. I'd love to answer a question, but I have too many things to add to figure out which one.
Well, actually, we're going to have another podcast coming up, because the podcast hits 5 years adding aviation. So I'm going to have all my aviators that have been on the last 5 years, and we're going to go deep dive into more story. But thank you for coming. If you want to just hang on, and then you could come back at the end as well.
Okay. I'll mute myself.
Okay. All right. Radar Intercept Officer.
Hi, Cindy. Nice to see you again. I'm doing good, thanks.
So let's talk Top Gun. What's your story behind it?
Well, one thing that I want to say is people probably look at Heater's photos. And, when I was a junior officer and a Top Gun instructor at F-14 Rio back at Miramar, we saw his photos. And I took a few pictures, but Heater is on a different level. And it was a combination of his imagination, his vision, technical skill. I mean,
Yeah.
taking great photos out of an airplane is not easy, even when you have a great subject like the Tomcat. So, Heater really earned, he put a lot into it and he got great results. So when I was thinking about talking about this, so one, I was an F-14 Rio, as you mentioned, and I was a Top Gun instructor from 1984 to 87, which means I was an instructor when they filmed the movie. And so I think all of us, my perception is every one of us had at least a small contribution or the opportunity to contribute to the movie. But what I'm thinking of is 40 years now we're talking about this movie. And I wanted to bring some artifacts that I grabbed from the day. This is a prestigious Japanese aviation magazine called Kokufan. That's the way I say it. And it's got a Top Gun on the cover, and it opens up with Top Gun photos, multiple page photo spread of Top Gun. Then at the other end of the spectrum, let me put this here. Hopefully a lot of people remember this. Mad Magazine.
Oh yeah. Yep.
They did a parody of the movie in their issue. So, these things indicate that when the movie came out, it was a cultural item. And then this kind of is the big time Rolling Stone, which Top Gun's, oh, there it is. Top Gun's right there. And, so Rolling Stone, there's a long article about the Navy, F-14s, Top Gun, et cetera. So, when that movie hit, it was like a tsunami.
Mm-hmm. And the recruitment was through the roof.
Yes. People, yes, that's true. And I've met many, many people who said they joined the military, not only Navy, not only naval aviation, but joined the military because of the movie.
And my backstory, right, with the Navy?
Go ahead and tell us, because somebody who's watching.
Yes, I actually worked civil service on a nuclear submarine, a place called Mare Island out of Vallejo, California. It's about a half hour, 45 minutes out of San Francisco. And that's the very same year that Top Gun came out. And one of my favorite planes on the planet. So it's kind of a full circle type of thing. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So that's the whole aviation love. And my true aviation started at Travis Air Force Base, where I lived in Northern California. 16-year-old kid getting excited about a C-5 flying over. So that's the whole aviation bucket list for me.
The C-5 is an impressive machine.
Yes.
When I was a 15-year-old kid, I wanted to be a fighter pilot, but my eyesight went bad, so I had to be a Rio. But for me, I just wanted to fly fighters. And then, as I learned more about it, I wanted to be an F-14 Rio. And so, I did whatever it took. I worked, I committed myself, and I had good training. I had the ability to do it, and I became an F-14 Rio, and then became a Top Gun instructor, which was something I had not even thought about.
Wow. Well, we have a few more minutes. Let's talk about day in the life of what you did as a Rio.
Well, when you're an instructor at Top Gun, we mostly got there around 7 a.m. If you were actually briefing a flight, or if you had an early lecture, you might get there even an hour earlier, and you would have stayed late the night before prepping. So then, we always had paperwork. We had schedules to arrange, people to talk to. If you were working on a lecture, your days would be 14 hours long, 7 days a week. But if you did not have a new lecture to prepare, that's as you're preparing a new lecture, you'd really work these incredible hours for 3 months or more.
Wow.
But then if you didn't have a new lecture to prepare, if you're in your routine, life was busy, but it wasn't a killer pace. And you know, you might get there, you do some paperwork or whatever, work on some squadron stuff, and then you might go in for a 9 a.m. Flight brief. So the class would have had the class going through would have had a lecture for a couple of hours. Then they break, go into a flight brief. Then you either fly over the Pacific Ocean or you go over to Arizona, and you do 1, 2, or 3 air combat training flights during the day. It was incredible, and the debriefs were longer than the flights because Top Gun realized early on, and we're talking about these were standards and processes that were established in 1969 by Vietnam combat veterans during the Vietnam War, and they did all of this very perceptive, very effective teaching methodologies, and it still forms the basis for the way the squadron operates today. So it was incredible. I mean, I was 26, 27 years old.
Wow.
It was a lot of responsibility, but I was one of 16 or 18 Top Gun instructors, however many we had at that time, and we all kept each other operating at a high level. So it was a tremendous experience.
Well, let's talk about the Blairs. How did you get to know them?
One of my side projects, because there was a lot of stuff involved in running the Top Gun squadron, the Top Gun class. One of my side projects was every class, and the class in those days lasted 5 weeks, and we had 6 of them each year. And early in each class, we would have an evening event called the MiG Killer Debrief, where we'd have a person a former pilot or RIO who lived in San Diego who had destroyed an enemy MiG in combat in Vietnam. And when I got there, that was young bio. When I got there, we held our MiG Killer debriefs usually at the golf course clubhouse on NAS Miramar, which is now MCAS Miramar. And then after the movie came out, our commanding officer, Dan Schewel, Dirty, he went to the Kansas City barbecue to check it out. And he goes, Bio, start holding the MiG Killer debriefs at the Kansas City barbecue. So that's how I met Martin and Cindy. They were wonderful people. They worked with us. The atmosphere was great. The food was great. And so, I've known them now for 40 years.
Wow.
40 years. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
And I still go there every time I come to San Diego.
Yes.
Good.
We'll see you next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very cool.
Well,
I'm going to
remember-
pop you in the green room, and then we'll get you at the end of the show.
Okay.
All righty, Cindy and Martin Blair. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the collaboration. We all appreciate that.
Oh, it's our pleasure. It's always a fun time of year.
So let's talk about the 48th anniversary, and then I'll bring up the flyer.
All right.
So how did it all
So it's the
with Top Gun?
40th anniversary of Top Gun, and it is also the 43rd anniversary of our barbecue joint. So we were fortunate in the early years to have that come along, develop the friendship with Bio, have the Top Gun pilots come in after the fact. But for the 40th, we want to make sure we do some special things, special events, and hence the pilots. There'll be a reunion of the extras on Saturday, and the Top Gun pilots will be there on the week from Saturday, and you'll be there as well.
Yeah, so let's talk about the schedule. So we have, the 15th. We could start from the 15th and 16th, and then move on to the weekend after that.
Got it.
So tomorrow we're just kind of having a happy hour on the actual day. I think the movie was released on the 15th, which was ours. We went to the opening premiere the night before. I think it must have been the 14th. And then it went in the general theaters. And we had a lot of the people, we didn't even know if we'd actually made the cut. The restaurant scene made the cut. But we had a big party to walk down to the theater for opening night, which was, about 5 blocks away. And so we all went down and hoot and hollered and everything like that. So we remember that day well.
Yeah, because we really had no idea what they decided to keep. that were two scenes with a piano scene and then the very last scene in the movie. And so of our events coming up, then on Saturday, this coming Saturday, the 16th, the various extras that were involved, the that have gone on to do other things are coming down. But we also have a special guest that Martin arranged.
Yes, we're having our most recent Medal of Honor winner, Royce, come down.
Royce Williams, 101 years old, is going to join us and be available to talk to. And then the following week on the 23rd, we'll have which is also a Saturday, 2 to 5. We'll have bio and other pilots that have been involved, and they'll be in some of the local Top Gun lookalikes as well. So there'll be a whole variety of things going on. And then that night, they're showing the movie on the Midway.
They're showing it for Friday and Saturday. The Top Gun, I believe, is Friday the 22nd.
Yes, the
Top
original.
Gun Maverick is on the Saturday night.
Yeah.
So it'll be a fun weekend.
And what guests do we have coming on the 23rd? So we have Bio will be there, and he's doing a book signing, correct?
Yes. Bio will be there. Jambo will be there. Call sign Jambo. Frank Whiteley will be there. He was fairly involved. He was an extra, but he was also the bodyguard for
Yes.
Tom Cruise. And I think he's got a couple of other people. There are a couple of other question mark people. But then we also have the Maverick, Charlie, Iceman, and then Rooster lookalikes are going to stop by before they go on the Midway.
Well, that is
And
awesome.
that's 2 to 4 on Saturday, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whoops, let me get that here. Yeah, so this is going to be absolutely amazing being able to celebrate. And of course, we have our Top Gun royalty as well. And Heater, is anything else you'd like to add to the show?
Well, nothing except that it's been very interesting. 40 years, who would have thought that a movie would
That's
last
an
that
understatement.
long?
Martin, that's an understatement.
Possible.
But I agree with you. Who would have thought?
Well, we still get a lot of people coming in, buying shirts, doing different things from all over the world, that have heard about it, come to San Diego, and we're one of the few places where you can actually see part of the filming. Yes, get dog tags.
It's amazing too, the number of young kids that are so fascinated, the under 15 years old, and the number of people that name their kids after those characters. Well, I got the one most fascinating one was the one that had a young boy and young girl about 6 and 8 years old, and her name was Charlie and his name was Maverick.
Wow.
They're legal names. Yeah. So pretty surprising.
Heater, you want to unmute?
Yeah,
Anything you'd like to say about Kansas City Barbecue? Did you get a chance to be a part of that when the movie was filmed?
Oh, no, I didn't. I wasn't there for that part, but I went there twice on the Top Gun days at the new location. Had a great time there. Blair's, thank you.
Well, good.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was nice to see that a phenomenon that Bio and I, that was part of our life and our job that we love to do. But the fact that we're still talking about it 40 years later, and it's a $2 billion franchise, I'm wondering if there really is a Top Gun 3, because everything I've seen about it looks like AI. It looks like it's made up, like they're not really doing it. But I can't imagine with a $2 billion franchise, they won't do a Top Gun 3. So I hope
it'll be interesting to me to see who the adversary is in Top Gun 3. They've had Iran, they've had Russia, which was very timely. Then they had Iran, which turned out to be more timely than you would know. And now who is it? China? I don't think so because they can't afford to have the movie banned in China. But,
Martians.
Right?
Oh yeah, that's right. The UFOs.
The
That's a-
UFO
Yeah.
release, Martin. All
oh,
that UFO information, they're gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a good guess.
I just thought of that.
Non-controversial.
Yeah.
But we have 5 minutes. So one thing I want to tell you, the Blairs, it is National Barbecue Month, and on Saturday, ironically, is National Barbecue Day. Let's talk about menu.
Wow. Huh.
which is also Top Gun Day, I guess, the official Top Gun Day.
Wow.
So you're doing the
All good.
brisket. What else are you doing for a special?
We've got well, ribs and brisket are what we served the wrap up party for the movie people and bio, I think, at that point in time too. We've got hot dog. We've got $5 hot dogs, $5 pork sliders, variety of things. We've got a Top Gun glass and beer special.
Oh, wow.
So variety of things, and we'll add a few things the day of. So it'll be fun.
Kansas City barbecue, you guys know how to just keep the excitement going.
100%. Yeah, this is a Kansas City barbecue.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah,
There you
well,
go.
I've got a new one for you for the 40th.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
For the-
I'm all over that one. Thank you. Well,
All right,
in
we'll get you one
closing,
of
let's
those.
talk about some drinks and libation. Heater, is there a favorite drink that you like?
Oh, probably the old fashioned. I'm a bourbon guy, so
We know you like coffee. That's the best fuel, right?
not me. I got
Well,
tonight
what are you drinking in your mug today?
bourbon.
Oh, I love it.
It's
Yeah.
like Dean Martin back in the old days and Johnny Carson.
Coffee has caffeine in it, and caffeine makes my tinnitus unbearable. So I had to quit.
Mm.
Interesting. I'm
Yeah.
gonna write that down.
Yeah. How about you, Bio? What are you drinking today?
I'm drinking Modelo today, but
Ooh,
as we were
yeah.
talking about it earlier, sometimes I drink a Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Ale,
Mhm.
and I do drink bourbon now and then, and I drink less than I used to.
I'm sure all of us do. And Blair's, what is some of your favorite libations there at your restaurant?
Well, when we're over at the restaurant, usually have a Top Gun Blonde, which was our
Nice.
proprietary blonde ale. Sometimes at night, have an occasional martini, just to help things out.
And since we're beer and wine at the barbecue, I'm usually a wine at the barbecue and a scotch at home.
There you go. Wow, that's awesome. So we have about 2 minutes left. Anything you want to do?
Well,
to
yourself,
add?
Cindy, what's your libation of choice?
Well, actually, today and tomorrow, I'm at the Margarita Resort in San Diego. It's one of my bucket lists. I was at the Orlando Resort back in November. So I'm going to head out to a pool and probably find something light, maybe a Modelo or something like that, or an ale.
Good.
Yeah. So go ahead and do a shout out to your website, Blair's.
KCBBQ.net. So you can find up-to-date information on there.
Or Facebook.
Or Facebook, or just kind of Googling Kansas City barbecue. It's kind of the best way to get. I don't know how they do it, but they have the most current stuff going on, including your podcast.
And what's going to be the special hashtag for the next couple weekends? Is it just Kansas City barbecue, or is it Top Gun restaurant? What do you want people to use for a hashtag?
Maybe, I don't know, Top Gun restaurant or something. I don't know if we have a hashtag for it.
Yeah, because I started that hashtag a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay.
So you can
All
use
right.
that. Bio, do
Sure.
a shout out to your website.
Yeah.
TopGunBio.com. And I'm also on Facebook and Instagram as either Top Gun Bio or Top Gun Days. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
And
Heater.
he'll have some of his books next Saturday, and be autographing.
definitely. And Heater, do you have a website or anything you'd like to plug for today?
Yeah, I'll shout out to 3 people. Pete Viper Pettigrew, who's gone,
Yeah, a couple years ago.
good friend of mine and worked with the movie. And Clarence Gilliard was the black guy who was in Walker, Texas Ranger, and the Nakamichi Tower, what the heck movie? Die Hard. And he was Sundown in the movie, and he replaced Goose as the Rio.
Yeah.
And he became a really good friend, went to his wedding, and we stayed in touch, and he visited me many, many times afterwards, as did Tony, the director, Tony Scott.
Oh, wow. That's
And
good to hear.
so all 3 of them are gone. So that's sad for me because they were a big deal.
Well, actually, Chappie, he's one of the docents at the museum. Him and I did a tribute podcast a couple years ago to Pettigrew.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so it was
That's
really
good.
important for me to do that. Okay, so we are going to head out and hope everyone has a great day. And if there's anything you want to know about Top Gun, reach out to me and I'll connect you to each and every person who's been on here today. And okay, Cindy and Martin, one last shout out to your website, please.
BBQ.net.
Okay, bio.
TopGunBio.com.
And then if you want to find Heater at Heater HEATLEY on Facebook. And of course, if you want to find the podcast, that's Bucket List Coach Web Show Live. We'll see you here just on the other side. So guys, you could just hang tight and I'll see you in the green room in a minute.
Thanks, Coach.
All right. Make sure you take the time to pay it forward, find people in your life to make a difference to, and definitely celebrate the amazing Top Gun movie and use those hashtags that we mentioned earlier. And we'll see you here just on the other side.